Busy in the corner of Aaron Davis with the end swell, Alex, trying to get that balloon to come down a little bit underneath the left eye.
Yeah, and for
underneath the right eye, rather.
For the first time, really, Dan, and I really have to say that end swell should have been out. I mean, he does have to work on the cut above the eye, but that end swell should have been out earlier between rounds.
Well, Aaron Davis is just holding and hitting. Held with the right, took 3 shots with the left before Mills Lane was able to separate the fighters.
When the cut man asked for the end swell, Billy Giles, the trainer, and another second in the corner, said he didn't have it, and they had to look for it in between rounds.
They wasted 30 seconds. It is a balloon under the right eye of Aaron Davis.
Yeah, we're not even halfway in this fight, and both men look like they fought 30 rounds. Not just in terms of the punishment. Timeout again. Now the referee's going to look at Breland.
No, sending Aaron Davis over to the doctor.
He was just directing Mark to the neutral corner.
The ring doctor again looking at that eye. The doctor allows the fight to go on.
And now you might see some of the desperation from Davis.
Aaron Davis has to realize that eye isn't going to allow him to go, and he picks up the pace, although missing badly with a couple left hooks. Mark Breland ducking punches, came up, scored.
But his chin is still available. You know, if I were Mark, I'd be thinking in 2 directions here, Dan. I'd be trying to close that eye, really trying to close that eye with the jab and the hook. But I'd also make sure I didn't get hit with a stupid left hook again.
Well, Mark Breland just took a jab right in the face. We'd like to remind our local ABC stations that at the end of this round, we're going to be taking a station break. And again, Aaron Davis just throws Mark Breland to the ground.
Hey, come here. We have you. Come on, you guys. Let's go. Come on, here we go.
Mills Lane, an excellent referee. You hear the crowd chanting Breland.
Yeah, Mark is not a great chant. Mark. No. I think that's going to be nice for Mark. I think the people here appreciate the fact that he has hung in there after being badly hurt.
And there was, again, another wrestle down by Aaron Davis.
Come on.
But again, it followed a right hand, and another jab by Davis scores.
And again, Mark's legs are all over the place. Spaghetti.
I think the right hand before Davis threw him to the ground hurt Mark Breland.
Every time you see Mark go down the canvas like that, it just reinforces the image of him in the Starling fight. A fight that just made everybody question Mark's physical strength.
They'll be working on both of these fighters. Schlitz Malt Liquor Professional Boxing is going to continue after this word from your local ABC station. Opening moments of the 7th round, and Alex, Joe Ferriello in Mark Breland's corner said it all when he said, Mark, it's all mental. Let's see if you're a champion.
And Mark insisted that he was not physically tired, that he was all right.
There's Billy Giles, the trainer and manager of Aaron Davis. He has to have a sense of urgency here with the condition of his fighter's right eye.
I mean, all through the last round, between rounds, he told Aaron they're going to stop this fight. You just had the feeling, Dan, there was no way this fight could get into the 7th round. I mean, both guys are busted up. I mean, something had to happen. Mark was getting hit so easily, getting hurt so easily, and Aaron's eye was so badly closed, you just felt that something had to happen. I mean, it's not yet.
You really sense, Alex, that both of these fighters are so close to the edge. Aaron Davis so close from having that eye swell shut and stopping the fight. And Mark Breland, I'm sorry, I still get the impression that he's only one average shot to the chin away from going down and not getting up.
I think you're right. The question is, can Aaron land it? Can he get himself together enough?
champion in the blue trunks. Aaron Davis, the challenger in the red and blue sequence. Breland from Brooklyn, Davis from the Bronx. Both Golden Glove champions in New York City. And this is one of those rare fights where as much as these two talked going into the fight's even better than the talk.
You know, you wonder about the right hand of Breland. I mean, that's his power punch. He hasn't thrown it that much. We did find out after the Huntington fight, his last title defense, Dan, that he'd injured the right elbow. I checked on it. I was told by Shelley Fink and his manager, no physical problems. But he has not drilled the right hand to the head as much as you would expect him to do. You
saw one chopping right, and it looked like it slowed Aaron Davis down a bit. Aaron Davis attempting to keep that right glove up and protect that eye.
Now another reason why he may not be throwing that right hand is he just wants to use the right to protect against that left hook of Aaron Davis that's had him hurt on a number of occasions.
A strategy that I could hardly blame him for using.
It was a right elbow injury in the Huntington fight.
Mark Breland carrying his gloves a little low. A good combination by Breland, but most of those were blocked.
One good right to the body.
This fight is scheduled for 12. We're at the end of 7. A crowd gathered around Aaron Davis in between rounds. Referee Mills Lane, the doctor, all looking at the ballooning right eye, the swelling underneath the eye. And Aaron Davis catches Mark Breland with a flurry in the left. Here it seems. Mark Breland attempting to hold on. And a golden opportunity for Aaron Davis.
And I think this may be his last opportunity. His eye looks horrible. It could open at any moment. The doctor could stop it at any moment. He should let everything hang out.
Good uppercut, a left uppercut by Davis, a left hook. And Mark Breland throwing nothing back. Another uppercut by Davis. A chopping left hand. And Joe Ferriello, Breland's trainer, not happy. And now Aaron Davis, Alex, looks like he's whipped.
Exhausted.
And Mark Breland, his best punch of the fight, a left hand. And a right uppercut. Aaron Davis is hurt. Aaron Davis is hurt.
And if Mark Breland can land one good punch, I think the referee might stop it.
Aaron Davis shaking his head. And he lands a left hand. In the 8th round in Reno, Mark Breland lands a left and a right.
Get off that rope. Come on. Oh, boy. Get off that rope. Come on.
Two men who've been criticized at times in their career for having no heart. They discovered that particular part of their anatomy here today, Dan, without question.
And by each other, they've been criticized for having no heart. Well, I can only assume that there's a newfound respect between Mark Breland and Aaron Davis.
Aaron took his shot the first part of this round, then Mark took his. Let's see who finishes round 8 with the most.
A wild right by Aaron Davis, and look at his right eye. Bleeding now from the mouth is Aaron Davis. Aaron Davis breathing heavily.
Mark feigning, trying to get Aaron to drop his hands. He'd do better to use the right to the body to make him drop it.
Both fighters in trouble in this round. Coming up on 10 seconds left in the 8th round. The end of the 8th. Whoa, baby. We return to Harrah's in Reno, Nevada. Alex Wallow, Dan Deerdorf are with you. Mark Breland and Aaron Davis are putting on a show. It is for Breland's WBA welterweight crown.
That jab just opened up Mark's nose again. The blood pouring out of it. He's pawing at the nose.
We're in the the 9th round of a fight scheduled for 12.
As bad as the Davis eye looks, the doctor actually made the quickest trip to that corner in a few rounds and told Mills Lane it was okay. Doctor actually said the eye was better between that round than it had been the previous one, which is hard to believe after all the punches that Aaron took.
Well, the 8th round, Alex, was one of the best rounds of boxing I've seen in a while.
Yeah, this year. One of the best we've seen this year, Dan. And you know, Mark's glove on left might have been the inswell for that eye. Oh, look at Mark's nose.
Mark Breland bleeding from the nose and the mouth. Oh, a good left to the body by Aaron Davis. These two could share an ambulance on the way to the hospital after this fight.
Body
it's
shot.
Mostly left hands by Aaron Davis as he's holding that right in reserve. Look at the blood from Breland.
He's doing something smart there. Aaron came in with a body punch. Both these men, I think, are vulnerable to body punches, as anybody is when they're went through this much punishment. But both men would be smart to start off combinations with the body.
And you saw Aaron Davis so tired, just hanging on to Mark Breland, that when Breland pulled away, he fell against the ropes. That wild left from Davis came back behind. A good double left by Mark Breland. Bleeding from the right nostril and bleeding from the mouth. Aaron Davis clearly shaken by the condition of his right eye. Look at that right hand come up almost right in front of his eye. There's that solid right, that chopping right by Breland, who now begins to head hunt. And it's almost exclusively a left-handed fight now by Aaron Davis. I don't know that he's thrown a good right hand this round, Alex.
You wonder what his depth perception is out of the right eye, Dan.
Oh, and there's the right hand, and Mark Breland is down. And Mark Breland is out. Mark Breland will not get up. It's over. Aaron Davis is the WBA welterweight champion.
And Mark Breland is still on the deck.
Aaron Davis, exhausted, jubilant, and now his legs finally appear to have given out. And when I talked about no right hand, he was saving it. Aaron Davis now moves to 30-0, and he has a title belt. Let's go back. Here it is, Alex.
Mark coming in. Aaron just went down, loaded up a right hand, and drilled it home, and that was it.
And I guarantee you that was the first right hand that he threw with any conviction the entire round. Oh. And Mark Breland walks right into it. And of course, as you would expect, look at Billy Giles.
Waiting for the count.
A feet-first entrance into the ring. Mark Breland is still down on the ring, flat on his back. He has not moved. We're looking over the shoulder of Mills Lane. You see Joey Ferriello in there as well.
Billy froze now.
Breland's eyes are open, but he is not risen.
He seems conscious. They're keeping him there as a precautionary measure, as they do.
Yeah, let him go. Come on, me too.
Cutting his gloves off.
Get there. Give him some air. Give him some air now.
You'd be hard-pressed to get many more people in this ring.
The commission people are trying to clear the ring.
Mark Breland, who's up on his feet. So a good sign there. Mark Breland makes his way back over to his corner. We'll be back here to Reno, Nevada for interviews. A lot still to come. Schlitz Malt Liquor, professional boxing continues. Welcome back to Reno. Let's go now up to the ring and get the official decision. Here's ring announcer Jim Hall.
from Harrah's Hotel and Casino in Reno. This fight ends at 2:56 of the 9th round. Winner by knockout and new WBA welterweight champion of the world, Aaron Superman Davis.
So Aaron Davis is the new WBA welterweight champion, and his victory started early. Let's go back to some action in the first round. Here is the first punch that Aaron Davis hurts Mark Breland with. It's just a stiff left jab, nothing extraordinary, but right to the chin, buckled the knees of Mark Breland, and you got the impression that Breland never fully recovered from that shot in round number 1. All right now up in the ring is Alex Wallow, and he's got a new champion at his side.
Aaron, it's tough to try to figure out where to start. You had a terrible showing in your tune-up fight for this. A lot of people thought you shouldn't even get a shot against Mark based upon your performance against Curtis Summit. But you came in here, you shocked everybody, including me, and came out as the WBA welterweight champion.
Yeah, I wasn't really up for Curtis Summit, but I was up for this fight here. I went to Villaroma, and I want to thank Howie and everybody, Mike, everybody at Villaroma for giving me support. And I trained very hard, and then I came out here for 2 weeks and to train and stayed off the streets of New York. And now here I am, and I'm going to keep it like this forever.
Aaron, you can't see it. You'll see it on the films, but your eye looks horrendous.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
I mean, can you see out of it?
Yeah.
I mean, was there any moment in the fight when you were afraid the referee or the doctor would advise the referee to stop the fight?
No way. I told the referee, I told the doctor, I said, please don't stop this fight. Please don't stop this fight.
You hurt him with the first strong jab you hit him with, but then after having him hurt again in the second round, Aaron, you seemed to run out of gas a little bit yourself.
Yeah, I kind of ran out a little bit and got my second win. And my eye was a little blurry at the beginning. I seen 3 people. Them gloves, they say you can't thumb with them, but you can thumb with them.
Okay. Let's take a look at the knockdown, Aaron. I'm not sure what round this is we're going to see. There was so much action in this fight. There, Mark's coming in with the jab. But this is the knockout. That's the right hand. Give Mark credit for one thing. There was a lot of talking trash before the fight, but he proved his heart.
Mark is a great man. Mark had more heart than I expected him to. And he did not quit because he didn't want to go back to New York a loser, and I did not win. I didn't want to go back to New York a winner. Now I'm going back to New York a world champion. Yes. To the Bronx.
Really a great fight. Yes.
Congratulations to you, Aaron. Sensational fight. Billy?
Yeah, how you feel, Wally?
Good. I didn't think you could do it, Billy.
I kept telling everybody 6 rounds. I was a little off. Aaron's a very strong guy. You know, I used to manage his father, Tumler Davis. And I figured with the hype, if Tumler had it, he was the same built, but with the hype, he would take care of Mark. Mark had a lot of heart. Mark fooled me. There was a lot of garbage talk in my store, my dog store. And Mark, he fooled me. I want to thank Mark for giving us a shot first. I want to thank the Duvers and Shelly. But we do it again maybe sometime.
Tremendous fight.
But one thing
Never
I want,
again like that.
One more guy I want to fight. He's a Mexican. And you know who he is. Mr. Don King. Let's get the money together. Let's talk to Bobby Goodman and Chavez. Let's get it on.
Congratulations. Billy Giles. Let's go back down to Dan Deerdorf at ringside.
Okay, Alex, thank you, and congratulations to Aaron Davis, the new WBA champion, and to Mark Breland as well. A great fight. This was our second day of boxing here in July. We have a lot left to come later on this month. Let us show it to you right now. As you can see, we're going to be getting our traveling shoes on. A lot of boxing to come later on here in the month of July. Let's go back up to the ring right now. Alex Wallow has some more interviews. He's got Mark Breland. Alex?
A former champion, but a man who proved today something a lot of people question. He's got a tremendous, tremendous heart. Mark, it has to be, I mean, by far the toughest fight that you've ever been in, and a terrible loss for you.
Oh, yeah, all losses are terrible. You know, I take nothing away from him. He's a good fighter. He was just better than me tonight.
You proved the questions about your heart, Mark, but it seemed like he did hurt you right in that first round and a couple of times later just with a jab. Were you betrayed by your chin a little bit in the fight? Were you surprised that he was able to hurt you?
Oh, no, I know he could punch a little bit. He's a converted southpaw, so his power hand is his left hand. Like I said, I don't take nothing away from him. I think he was a good fighter.
I know it's very tough at a time like this to talk about the future, Mark. I mean, what are your thoughts right now?
Get in the gym and come back, you know, try to get a rematch or with whoever. I'm not going to quit right now.
You're talking like your nose, I mean, like you can't breathe through your nose. Do you think it may be broken, Mark?
I know it was clogged up before the fight. And, the fight was getting clogged up, so I don't use that as an excuse.
Well, you're a very classy guy. We really appreciate you coming off to talk to us, Mark. Thanks very much.